4 simple ways to teach kids about mental health. Now, before we get into the mental health strategies, we've got a lot to cover about mental health itself. Hey there, I'm Charlotte with Colorful Teaching for You. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, there is absolutely no way that I'm going to be able to cover everything that I wrote today. So what you're going to have to do is check out the link in the description that says full episode to really look at the heart of the matter, really the descriptions that I've put out there for you. But I'm going to try and get as much as I can on this video right now for you, okay? So let's get started. Above all, we know that our children's well-being is the most important thing ever right now, because we've got so much happening. We've got bullying, we've got kids feeling depressed, some kids unable to manage their emotions. There's just so much happening that it's really important for us to focus on mental health. And for a long time, what we ended up doing was spending our time teaching our kids to participate in, say, hockey, soccer, really physical activities as a way of occupying and then helping our bodies and hopefully helping us mentally as well. But, you know, while they are interconnected, and they really are, they're also separate components that we need to work on in a separate way, because while it's great to work on our physical health, we also need to really focus on our mental health as well, so that we know how to isolate those matters when we need it. And this is an important lesson to teach our children during these times as well. So what I'm going to talk really quickly about is what is mental health. Now, if you see me looking this way, it's because I've got notes here. It's just a lot to cover. So I'm just going to be looking sometimes at my notes so that you know what we are working on. So realistically, mental health can be seen as a spectrum, okay? So we're not going to feel happy every moment of our days. We're not going to feel sad every moment, or depressed or anxious. There's a moment where we might feel really happy, and then there's another moment we might feel really anxious. It ranges depending on the circumstances, depending on the day, time of day. There's just so much that's happening. Our emotions go up and down. Now, the thing we want to teach our children is we don't want them to sit at this feeling of being really upset, really sad, really depressed all of the time. It's okay to feel it for a little while, to process it, to understand it, and then to move on, and to just not really be fixated on that feeling. Once we start to get fixated, that's when there's a problem, because once you start to feel bad, stressed out, anxious all the time, it can lead to depression. Depression can lead to mild depression, can lead to severe depression, and so forth. And that's not where we want our kids to be. So we want them to be able to recognize their emotions. We want them to be able to understand them in ourselves and in our peers, and then we want them to be able to ask for help when they need it, so that they are able to get the support they need before it turns out to be something much more devastating and harder to control. Okay, so let's look at some actionable steps that we can help our children with. The first one is called model healthy habits. There's a lot to cover here, so again, I'm going to ask you to refer to the full episode, but essentially what we're doing is you're looking at how to teach your children how to understand their emotions. Now, there are a lot of children that can't always verbalize their emotions. Some may be vocal, some may be non-vocal. However, when a child, especially young children, when they feel an array of emotions, they don't always know how to manage it, right? You might see a child throwing a tantrum. You might see a child hugging somebody without their permission because they're just so excited, or feelings of love just encompass them. But we want them to be able to understand what is the feeling, why are we feeling that way, and how do we manage these emotions. We don't want to just kind of willy-nilly it, right? So we want to look at how do we feel this way, and the ways to do that is to really show them how you understand your emotions. If you're feeling upset in that moment, tell your children, oh, I feel upset. This is why I feel upset, and this is how I'm going to manage it. You model it so that they can understand how to behave and manage it. And a way to do that is I've created a couple of resources for you. If you check out the link associated with this video for a full episode, look at actionable step number 1, and you'll see some resources that'll teach you show you how to teach your kids about different emotions and how to manage it, coping mechanisms, and so forth. All of it this entire thing that you want to create is on a minimalist budget, okay? So you're not going to be breaking the bank with this, okay? The next one is discuss self-image. This is really important, especially not just for young ones, especially for teenagers, because they start to feel peer pressure. They start to notice that they're a little bit different from other kids. I mean, my grade 2s are noticing how different they are from other children, let alone when I teach high school, right? So what I want you to do is really talk about their image. Ask them to reflect on it first, journal about what they think about themselves. Let them know that it's okay to sometimes feel, oh my gosh, I'm doing a terrible job at singing today, but I did a great job yesterday, and I'll do better tomorrow. We want to teach them how to be okay with, maybe I'm not a big fan of, I don't know, my years. I don't know, that's what I decided to pick. Maybe I'm not a big fan of my years, but hey, I can hear really well. I've got good hearing. Some people don't. And if I don't feel that comfortable with it, there you go. Maybe I can put something on it. But everybody has something that they don't like about themselves, and that's okay. But we don't want to sit there and think about our entire being as being terrible, because we are created in a specific image for a specific reason, and we want to tell our kids that. We want to show that to them. So let them journal about it, and then I'd like you to set some time aside to really have them sit in a space of gratitude, to look at the fact that other people aren't always as gifted as they are, right? There are kids or other adults that don't have the ability to use their fingers. They don't have the ability to speak like we can. Maybe I don't like my voice, but I can talk, right? So there's a lot that we can be grateful for. Teach them to be in this space of gratitude so that they are able to process their emotions and move past the feelings of, I don't like this about myself, okay? The next thing we want to work on is integrate it into the curriculum. While it's great to have it a standalone, because that's what we're moving toward, having some of this a standalone so that kids know that this is what we're learning about, but also integrate it into the curriculum as in, it can be part of your health lesson, your physical education lesson, your language arts lesson if you're journaling about it. If you are a parent, it could be part of a cooking lesson. Okay, we're going to use our hands today to make this beautiful meal together. We're going to use our legs to walk or to run. So part of your daily activities. Make this as a part of your day. Okay, that's the third one. Number 4 is to start a conversation circle. So for the younger kids, they can sit around on a carpet in a circle. And for the older ones, they can move their desks, because usually older kids don't have carpets. They can move their chairs or their desks into a circle. And I'd like you to talk about the first couple of things that we've already mentioned, the first few steps, and have them talk about their feelings about it. Discuss strategies, practice coping mechanisms as well. In fact, for each of your circles, practice one coping mechanism. Now, for older kids, you might want to do the circles once a week or more, and for the younger ones, every few days. In my classroom, I do it every day, every morning. So you can call it a conversation circle. I call it a morning meeting because I like to start my day off strong by having these discussions. You can also, if you decide to have it, I know some classes have it in the afternoon, you can call it an afternoon circle. Whatever it is that you want to call it, make sure your kids know this is when we're going to be doing it and this is what it's called, so they know what to look forward to. Okay, so let's recap really quickly, because we've talked a lot. We've looked at what is mental health. We've looked at 4 different ways that we can integrate it into our classrooms or home. One is model healthy habits. The second one is discuss self-image. The third one is integrate it into the curriculum. And the fourth one is start a conversation circle. Well, there's a lot that we've covered, so really I encourage you to go to my article where it says full episode in the description. Click the link and really read through this and process this information at your own time and pace. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you again, same place, same time next week. Take care, my friends. Bye.